So picture that one specific drawer in your house. The exact one I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, the graveyard of good intentions.
Exactly. It is where the dead smartwatches go.
Yeah.
The fancy fitness trackers with those proprietary charging cables you lost like 3 years ago.
Right, maybe a dusty plastic gym membership card shoved all the way in the back.
Yeah, it's basically a museum of all the times we tried to purchase our way into discipline,
We really do spend a small fortune trying to hack our own psychology. Like, we think that if we just buy the right gadget, it will magically force us to be active.
But what if the ultimate, absolutely foolproof health tool doesn't actually have a lithium-ion battery?
I mean, what if it doesn't even need to be synced to an app?
Right. What if instead it just sits at your feet, breathes heavily, and absolutely refuses to let you sleep in on a Saturday morning?
Which is a very different kind of alarm clock.
Totally. So today's deep dive is built around this really fascinating piece of writing from the Reluctant Low Carb Life blog. It's an article titled "The Accidental Personal Trainer: How a Dog Keeps You Healthy."
And what I really appreciate about this source material is the overarching philosophy it operates under. The authors at Reluctant Low Carb Life frame human wellness around what they call the health trifecta.
Right, the trifecta,
Yeah.
which is fitness, fullness, and freshness.
Yes. For anyone unfamiliar, fullness is about achieving actual satiety through whole foods, so you aren't just, constantly starving.
And freshness focuses on embracing real, non-ultra-processed food choices.
Exactly. And then fitness is all about maintaining an active lifestyle full of consistent movement. It's an incredibly useful framework because you really cannot isolate those pillars if you want long-term health.
You really can't. And today, we are zooming all the way in on that fitness pillar.
Right.
But we're looking at it through this really unique lens of outsourcing our motivation to a four-legged animal.
Which is a totally necessary shift in how we think about habits, actually. We live in a society that's just obsessed with optimizing our internal motivation.
Right. We're always trying to find the willpower inside ourselves.
But the science shows that motivation is really just a feeling. And feelings are incredibly unreliable. I mean, when you wake up, your brain is a master at rationalizing why you shouldn't go to the gym.
Oh, absolutely. It's like, it's raining, or I have a big meeting today, or my ankle feels a little weird.
Exactly. You can negotiate with yourself all day long, but you cannot rationalize with a golden retriever who urgently needs to go outside.
No, you really can't.
It is the ultimate shift from internal motivation, which is flimsy, to external obligation, which is ironclad.
Before we get deep into the mechanics of why this works so well, though, I want to quickly invite you to subscribe to our podcast and our YouTube channel so you never miss out on these discussions.
Yeah, and definitely go check out the blog at reluctantlowcarblife.com. Seriously, they have a wealth of evergreen content on everything related to that health trifecta, wellness, and aging gracefully. It is a fantastic resource.
So if we look at the baseline requirements for physical health, the World Health Organization, along with major cardiac experts, they recommend 150 minutes of moderate aerobic activity every single week.
Which, if you break the math down, is roughly 20 to 30 minutes a day.
Right. And on paper, that sounds incredibly easy.
But for the average adult who is, chained to a desk, staring at a screen for 8 hours, carving out 30 deliberate minutes just to walk around the block feels like a massive chore.
Let's be totally honest with ourselves. Walking just to walk, like pacing around your neighborhood staring at the pavement, it can be dreadfully boring.
It really is.
And because it's tedious, we treat it as an optional add-on to our day. And when things are optional, they get skipped.
Yeah, they're the first thing to go.
But the source material highlights this staggering statistic. Dog owners are 4 times more likely to hit that WHO goal than non-dog owners.
Wait, 4 times? 4 times. In fact, they average about 300 minutes of walking a RIT, which is effortlessly doubling the recommended minimum.
Okay, let's unpack this a little bit. Because is the dog essentially just an automatic habit loop installed right in your living room?
That's a great way to put it.
I mean, it's like having a gym buddy who lives in your house, doesn't speak English, and accepts 0 excuses.
Right, you can't text your dog and say, hey man, I'm feeling a little sluggish today, let's just take a rest day.
Exactly. You are entirely bypassing the decision-making process. The dog's biological needs force you into daily cardiovascular fitness.
But the physical benefits actually go far beyond just logging steps. Let's look at the biomechanics for a second.
Okay.
When you walk a dog, you aren't on a perfectly flat, mechanized treadmill belt where the machine is doing half the work of pulling your leg back.
Right, you're on uneven neighborhood sidewalks.
Yes, you are navigating curbs, you are walking up slight grassy inclines to let them sniff a tree.
I actually hadn't thought about that. You're forced to stop, start, pivot, balance. You're doing a lot more than just walking in a straight line.
Precisely. All of those spontaneous micro-movements, they engage the tiny stabilizing muscles in your hips, knees, and ankles.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it provides continuous, low-impact lubrication for your joints. It builds functional balance, which is the exact kind of mobility we need to preserve as we age.
And it does it without the harsh degenerative impact of heavy running on pavement.
Exactly.
So it's essentially a functional longevity workout disguised as a bathroom break.
Pretty much.
But I want to pivot here for a second because the mechanical joint movement makes sense. We all know walking is good for us.
Sure.
But I know people who run 5 miles a day and they are still incredibly unhealthy because they're chronically stressed. Like their diets are a mess, their sleep is terrible.
Right, they're just running on adrenaline.
Yeah. So does the dog actually do anything for the biochemical side of the equation?
Well, this is where the physical intervention transitions into a mental health revolution.
Okay, tell me more.
You can walk 10,000 steps a day, but if your nervous system is in a state of chronic alarm, you are fighting a losing battle. High stress levels cause your body to flood with cortisol.
Right, the stress hormone.
Exactly. Cortisol is an ancient survival hormone. It signals to your body that a famine or a predator is coming.
Which means it tells your body to hoard energy, right?
Yes, specifically by storing visceral fat around your abdomen. It also increases your appetite for fast energy, sugars and carbohydrates, and it destroys your sleep architecture.
So if you are trying to make healthier food choices, trying to embrace the fullness and freshness pillars of the health trifecta, but your cortisol is through the roof.
Your own hormones are actively sabotaging you.
Man. So how does a dog fix that? Because, let's be real, having a pet can be stressful too.
It can, but the dog acts as a biological reset button. The source material points out that the simple physical act of petting a dog for just 10 minutes creates an immediate, measurable chemical shift in the human body.
Wait, really? Just 10 minutes?
Just 10 minutes. Your cortisol plummets, and at the exact same time, oxytocin, which is the bonding hormone, surges.
I want to make sure I understand the mechanism here. I always assumed the lower blood pressure associated with dog owners was strictly because of the cardiovascular exercise from the walking.
Right, that's what most people think.
Are you saying the physical act of petting the animal is independently altering our cardiovascular system?
Yes, it is a separate synergistic mechanism. The tactile interaction of stroking a dog's fur triggers a profound physiological relaxation response.
That is wild.
It is. This tactile feedback actually signals your nervous system to dilate your blood vessels. When your blood vessels physically widen, it reduces vascular resistance, which naturally and directly drops your baseline blood pressure.
So you are getting the mechanical benefit of the walk paired with the biochemical vasodilation of the emotional bond.
Exactly.
I have to challenge a common assumption here because this is just fascinating to me. We are constantly sold stress relief as a solo, inward-facing activity.
Right, totally. Self-care.
Right. If you're overwhelmed, the advice is always like, go take a hot bath alone. Go meditate by yourself in a dark room. Try to observe your own thoughts.
Yes, the focus is always on the self.
But you're telling me the most effective way to de-stress might actually be to focus our attention entirely outward on another living creature.
Well, think about it. Turning inward is sometimes just creating an echo chamber for our own anxieties. We sit alone and ruminate on everything going wrong in our lives.
Oh, I do that all the time.
Right. Turning your attention outward to care for an animal forcefully interrupts that rumination. You have to be present.
In our choice.
Exactly. And this perfectly addresses another major point in the source material, which is the epidemic of modern loneliness.
Oh, the digital silos we all live in now. I mean, you can have 1,000 followers online and not speak a single word out loud to another human being all day.
And medical professionals are now equating that kind of chronic isolation to smoking multiple cigarettes a day in terms of its impact on our mortality. Yeah. Living alone makes it incredibly easy to slip into irregular routines. You skip cooking a healthy, fresh meal because, it's just me. You spend days trapped in your own head.
But a dog kind of shatters that dynamic, don't they?
They do, because they offer unconditional companionship. But more importantly, they provide a profound sense of purpose.
Knowing another creature fundamentally relies on you for its survival. I mean, that gets you out of bed on a cold, rainy morning when you would normally hit snooze.
And ironically, having this animal inside your house forces you to be less isolated from the outside world. The text calls dogs a social catalyst.
A social catalyst. I like that.
Think about it. If you walk down your street by yourself, people generally put their heads down and ignore you.
Oh, for sure. But you put a friendly dog on a leash, and suddenly you are the mayor of the neighborhood.
Exactly.
People stop to say hello. You learn your neighbors' names, or, well, at least their dogs' names.
Usually just the dogs' names, yeah.
Right. But you get these organic micro-connections peppered throughout your day.
And those micro-connections act as an emotional buffer. They actively build your psychological resilience against stress.
Which brings us to how this emotional regulation impacts our daily choices. Because this newfound sense of purpose, combined with lowered cortisol, it directly intercepts one of the biggest hurdles to maintaining a healthy lifestyle.
I know exactly where you're going with this. The source material talks about the infamous 8.30 p.m. snack monster.
Oh, yes. I think everyone listening knows this monster intimately.
It is the downfall of many great dietary intentions.
Let's look at the standard solo routine. Right. Your morning starts by hitting the snooze button. You get a slow wake up, maybe immediate scrolling on your phone in bed.
Right. Terrible for your circadian rhythm.
Exactly. You go to work, you log maybe 2,000 to 4,000 steps of just indoor office shuffling. You come home, you unwind by staring at more screens.
And your circadian rhythm is completely mismatched because you had low natural light in the morning and high artificial blue light in the evening.
And because of that mismatch, you find yourself aimlessly wandering into the kitchen at 8:30 p.m., opening the fridge, bathed in that weird LED light, just kind of waiting for a snack to magically appear.
And this is the critical moment. When people wander into the kitchen at 8:30 p.m., they are almost never physically hungry.
Really?
Really. They are exhausted. They are seeking a dopamine hit from ultra-processed foods to self-soothe after a stressful day.
So it's not hunger, it's just fatigue and boredom.
Exactly.
Right.
We have to view willpower as a battery. By 8:30 p.m., after making hundreds of decisions at work, your willpower battery is at 0%.
You are experiencing decision fatigue.
You simply do not have the cognitive strength left to say no to the chips.
But the intervention here is brilliant. Instead of relying on a drained willpower battery to fight off the urge to graze, the dog routine enforces a completely different physical action.
Right, because you have to take the dog out to do their business before bed. You put on your shoes, you step out the door, you completely change your environment.
It is a total pattern interrupt.
You are replacing willpower with environmental design. By the time you come back inside, the psychological urge to snack has passed.
Because it's been replaced by natural, healthy tiredness from breathing cold, fresh air and physically moving your body.
Exactly. Dogs thrive on strict schedules for breakfast, dinner, and walks. They internalize a clock. And that non-negotiable schedule naturally bleeds over into your life.
It practically forces you to structure your own meal prep and bedtime.
It really does.
This is such a profound concept to me. It's like you are literally outsourcing your executive function to a golden retriever.
That's a perfect way to describe it.
You know you have bad evening habits? So you hack your own psychology by tying your daily routine to a creature who thrives on incredibly strict rules.
You don't have to choose to be healthy. You just have to choose to open the front door.
It's effortless accountability. But, and this is a massive qualifier, if you were listening to this right now and thinking, this makes perfect sense, I'm going to the shelter tomorrow to fix my life, we need to do a serious reality check.
Oh, absolutely. The intervention has to actually match your reality.
Okay, I'm going to play devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
Let's say I am completely psyched. I want to hit that fitness pillar, and I want to get into incredible shape.
Yeah.
Shouldn't I adopt the most high-energy dog I can find?
Oh, no.
Like a husky or a Belgian Malinois. Wouldn't that essentially force me to become a marathon runner just to keep the dog from chewing through my drywall?
Okay, so that is what the behavioral world calls aspirational pet ownership. And it is a recipe for absolute mutual misery.
Wait, really? Why?
Because if you currently log 2,000 steps a day and you adopt a working breed that requires 20,000 steps a day, hoping the dog will magically transform you into an ultra runner, you are setting everyone up for failure.
Because my internal habits haven't actually changed yet.
Exactly. The dog will be chronically understimulated, anxious, and destructive, and you will be utterly overwhelmed, guilty, and resentful.
That makes total sense. Sustainability is the absolute cornerstone of the health trifecta. You cannot sustain a leap from 0 to 100.
So we really have to plan for our current reality, not our fantasy selves.
Right.
For someone looking to build a realistic long-term movement habit, the absolute sweet spot is an adult or senior rescue dog with moderate energy
A
levels.
dog that is perfectly content with 2 solid 20-minute walks a day.
Yes, that establishes a baseline you can actually maintain for years, rather than a frantic routine you abandon after a month.
That is such an important distinction. It's about setting the bar at a place you can consistently clear. And the source has this great tip about what they call micro walks for the times when you aren't doing the full 20 minutes.
Oh, I love the micro walks concept.
Right. We all know the quick potty break routine. You open the back door, let the dog out into the yard, and you just stand there scrolling on your phone in the doorway while you wait.
Which is entirely wasted potential.
Exactly. The hack here is to turn those quick breaks into health upgrades through habit stacking.
Okay, so how does that work?
Instead of just standing there, you put on your shoes, clip on the leash, and you walk around your block twice. It takes maybe 5 minutes.
But if you do that 3 or 4 times a day, you are effortlessly adding 1,500 to 2,000 steps to your daily total.
Right. It doesn't require carving out a huge chunk of your schedule. It just utilizes time you were already spending standing around.
It is compound interest for your body. But of course, the biggest objection to all of this outdoor activity is the weather.
Oh, the bad weather excuse.
People are perfectly fine walking the dog in May, but in November, when it's raining and 40 degrees, that is exactly when the habit breaks.
It derails so many fitness journeys. But the secret here isn't trying to summon superhuman willpower to endure the cold.
No, the secret is much simpler.
Right. Buy waterproof jackets, warm gloves, and really good shoes. There's that great Scandinavian saying, there's no such thing as bad weather, only bad clothing.
I love that. Investing in a $100 waterproof jacket is far more effective than buying a $1,000 treadmill that will eventually just turn into a clothes rack.
Totally. When you are warm and dry, walking the dog on a rainy morning actually stops being a miserable chore.
It shifts your perspective completely.
It becomes this incredibly quiet, peaceful adventure. Again, you are doing it in service of a creature that needs you.
And that service mentality entirely overrides the mild physical discomfort of being out in the rain.
You aren't fighting the elements, you are experiencing them safely alongside a companion.
Exactly.
So let's just recap this incredible journey through the source material. We started looking for a way to hit that fitness pillar of the health trifecta.
Right, along with fullness and freshness.
And what we found is that an accidental personal trainer with 4 legs effortlessly checks all the boxes.
They really do. They force you into daily cardiovascular fitness and functional mobility.
They act as a massive mental health reset button, lowering your cortisol through the biological mechanism of touch.
And they fight off the epidemic of loneliness by acting as a social catalyst.
And perhaps most practically, they completely rewrite your evening routine. They destroy the 8:30 p.m. snack monster by giving you enforced structure when your willpower is drained.
They help you hit the health trifecta simply by existing and needing your care.
They are a remarkably elegant biological solution to a very modern set of problems.
You know, considering everything we've unpacked today, it raises a really profound question.
What's that?
What if the future of preventative medicine isn't just a prescription pad, but a prescription pet?
Oh, wow.
Imagine how our cities, our workplaces, or even our healthcare insurance policies might fundamentally change if we actively designed our society around this biological imperative for cross-species connection and daily movement.
That is a staggering thought. Like, subsidize dog food from your health insurance provider because it's keeping your blood pressure down.
It makes perfect sense when you look at the data.
It is definitely something for you to think about the next time you see a dog wagging its tail on the sidewalk. Maybe the answer to our health struggles isn't hiding in that graveyard of dead fitness gadgets in your drawer after all.
Maybe it's just waiting for you to pick up the leash.
Before we wrap up, I want to remind you one more time to subscribe to the podcast and our YouTube channel. And please do yourself a favor and dive into the amazing resources, recipes, and insights over at the blog, reluctantlowcarblife.com. Thanks for listening.